Hello, welcome to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm your host, Sam Squailia. You're watching this on FATV, Fitchburg Access Television, in the Workers Credit Union studios. Thanks for watching. This week, we've got a whole bunch of guests. We've got Tim Lanza from Local Legacies podcast. We've got members, representatives from Sleep in Heavenly Peace, which puts together beds for children in need. And then we have representatives from the North County Land Trust to talk about the rock and roll race and so many other things. So I hope you stick around. Right now, I have Tim Lanza, host and creator and producer of the Local Legacies podcast.
Creator, not producer. My brother's the producer.
Your brother's the producer.
Yeah, luckily. That's why the audio quality is so good.
Aha, very good. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know because we recently shot a podcast chatting about my life,
right.
Which is odd because normally I do the questions, and so now you're in the hot seat.
That's what I kind of said to you is, so this is my first time being the interviewee, so it's a little bit of a role reversal.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad to be here in interviewing you. So, the Local Legacies podcast, if you haven't seen it yet, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Apple Podcasts. Are there other podcasts?
Anywhere
Spotify?
You can, Spotify, anywhere you get podcasts. I upload a link to YouTube as well, and if there's somewhere that you listen to podcasts that you can't get it, I'll put it up. It's just a matter of adding it to the server.
I know I listen to it on Google Podcasts, and it's really easy to just go to the Google Podcast, hit subscribe, and then you have all the episodes right there, and you can listen to them on a walk or while you're working or whatever. Podcasts are a very convenient form of information sharing.
That's how I kind of decided to do this. I'm an avid consumer of podcasts, and it's what I listen to a lot of the time. Anytime I've got a subject that I'm interested in, I'll tend to try to first look for books and or podcasts and start going down that rabbit hole and see what kind of information I can uncover.
So is that how you started, got kind of inspired to do your own podcast for the Local Legacies?
Yeah, so because, consuming it so much, I thought, this would be something that would be cool to do if I could manage to cobble it together. And then it became like, well, what would my topic be? What would I want to talk about? I've always been fascinated with business, and I grew up, my dad is a small business owner, so I grew up in his household, and I wanted to be able to talk to other business owners and just kind of figure out, I think myself, like most people, I've got no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to figure it out, and looking to people who seem to be successful in their own ways and successful in ways that I admire, like I did with my dad, in areas with the core tenets of the podcast is like business, family, community, and self. So I started to kind of build that model based off of him and his life and what he was able to do because he was a small business owner, and start talking to people and looking at it through that lens.
Mm-hmm. And so you've done one whole season is up on the podcasts available that you shot in 2021?
Correct, yeah. Over the course of 2021. And
so season 2 you're working on now?
Yeah, yep, so it's pretty much done. The first episode will come out June 1st. It is easier, so it's my brother and I. He does all the technical aspects of it, the recording, the production. I do the talking, the getting the guests, the promotion. He's in, I run my dad's business now with him. I've got a lot going on. My brother's in grad school. He has a job. So it's difficult for us, like what you do every week, to have a guest. We try to record everything, get it edited down, and then release it sequentially. We'll put like 10 episodes out of the second season.
That theoretically sounds easier.
Theoretically it is. Sometimes not so much.
Yeah.
So tried to be a little bit more proactive this season about getting stuff done ahead of time instead of like the night before the episode's supposed to come out.
Yeah. So I've listened to, a number of your podcasts from your first season, and I mean, you have a fairly varied number of guests. I mean, not the number of guests, but the type of people that you have on are business owners, but they're very different They come from very different backgrounds, and they're all in very different businesses. How do you, choose your guests?
So the first season is mostly people that I'm somehow directly connected to, and it made it easier. It was like kind of a warm introduction. So I was able to reach out to them, convince them to come on and talk to me, whether it be as a favor or, I pitched them on the idea. And it's good when someone else understands what you're trying to do and they're excited about it. That usually leads to like the best final product. But I just look at someone, if I see someone in the community that I'm saying, wow, I think that they've kind of either got it figured out, whether it be with their business, things that they're doing with volunteering, working with local government, and just really someone I'm interested in talking to and getting to know. And then from there, I approach them, do like a pre-interview like you and I did, kind of go over some of the details so that no one feels during the interview like they're put on the spot or they've got a question that they don't really know how to answer. Mm-hmm. And I look at everything through the lens of my dad is my hero because of the things that he's been able to accomplish with his business, and not even so much his business, but the way he's lived his life. When my brother and I were little, my mom was a school teacher. She had health care benefits, all that stuff. My dad would work at night. He'd stay home with us all day, and then he'd go into the shop at like 5 o'clock at night and work through the night so that my mom could keep her benefits, she could keep going to work, and someone would be home with us. If you work a 9 to 5 job, it's not really an option to do that long term. And then you speak to guests who have done similar but different things, like you said, varied backgrounds. Everyone's got their own story and their own way that they have kind of gone off the beaten path and decided to live life by their own terms.
Yeah, and your interviewing style, it feels like it's a really welcome, kind of open way of people can really engage and tell you about their whole life very easily.
Well, the idea behind it was like you're sitting at a bar overhearing this conversation between two friends, and one friend is just telling the other friend their life story or what they've done or whatever their successes, their failures. And because I'm not usually like their close friend, at least not yet, they're telling the story to me in a way that they probably wouldn't tell it to their friend or their kid. And so it's been a pretty amazing experience being able to get feedback from like other family members or close friends that are like, well, we've never heard that before. Because when it's you and your story, why would you tell it to someone who's not like asking you more and more questions about it?
Right, I wouldn't go into detail with my own family member that knows my business. I wouldn't tell them the details of how it got started.
Right.
Because I would think that they'd know.
You think that they know, but they, in reality, probably know a lot less of the details than what you realize.
True. Yeah. So you had, how many, is it 10 podcasts per season?
Per season, yeah.
And so you've had 10 guests on the first season.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about the first season.
Sure.
What kind of guests stand out for you? What interviews would you say have the most views on the podcast? Or what of them are your personal favorites, really?
One of my personal favorites actually was Nick Pelletier of Pelletier Properties, which is a business based out of Leominster. It's a real estate brokerage, and he's also got a construction business. He's someone who's actually very heavily involved in Fitchburg real estate. He's bought some properties downtown recently, commercial buildings that he's trying to renovate, and he's someone who got me interested in purchasing real estate in Fitchburg because of the way he views it, the opportunity that's here as far as where the city has the potential to go, in the next 5 to 10 years. You look at cities like Lowell, Worcester, Salem, where there's either colleges, train to Boston, all those types of things is the opportunity to get built up and really like revitalize the city. So that was a big one for me of the first season. Kenny Ricker, who was a restaurant owner, as well as Erica Gasparo, a restaurant owner who's my former boss.
Gaz Bar? I
Exactly.
never realized it was called Gaz Bar because of her name.
So, Mark Bonanza, who is a lawyer, but people probably know him best really as a historian. He's written many different books, I think probably close to 10 books that he's written on various historical events, all based around Leominster, or mostly based around Leominster and other some on sports, professional sports.
Yeah.
Honestly, each interview is kind of like unique in its own way, and it's really interesting to be able to not only have the conversation with the person, but then to be able to go back and listen to it and hear the things that I kind of missed when you're focused on, as you know, interviewing. Where's this conversation going? What's the next question I should ask? It's different than sitting back as a third party and like listening to two people have a conversation.
Yeah, that's what I do when I do my dog walk. I listen to the conversation. It's much easier than doing the questions.
Yeah, it is.
But, you know, I really enjoyed the podcast with Toby Mushrush. I thought that was absolutely engaging, and he was so genuine and fascinating and just heartfelt.
Toby,
his story is really, he engages you the entire time.
He's an incredible person, and he and I have become very good friends since then. And I'm very lucky to have met him. And that was one of the ones where you think of businesses, like you drive down Main Street or wherever, there's names that you know of business owners in your town that everyone knows, whoever that might be. You know, Gas Sparrow, Gas Bar, you see the sign, you drive by. Toby is someone who I didn't know beforehand. He's got a smaller business. It's just him.
I know he used to be in Fitchburg,
right,
and then he moved to Leominster.
And someone recommended him to me, and I went down and had a preliminary conversation with him, and I was just like, this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to have this interview. And he, as good as I thought it was going to be, he blew me away.
Yep. And you know, that's the really great thing about the Local Legacies podcast, is that you interview people that I don't know. We're not I'm not friends with these people necessarily, but I know them through the community. And so getting to hear all about their life story in 45 minutes or an hour is just fascinating.
And I try to balance, like this coming season, one of my personal favorites, which if you've met him, he's an absolutely incredible human being, but Jim Latanzi of Hollis Hills
Farm.
That was a very, very good interview, and a lot of people know that business and that farm because it's big, because he's so involved with the community. Hopefully that will bring people in, and then they'll maybe click on someone else who they've never heard of before, and it helps bring attention to other businesses who are people that you don't actually know or haven't interacted with before.
That's a great point. So let's talk about season 2. So what can we expect? Who's going to be coming on season 2?
So,
can we get a little preview?
So as I just said, Jim is, that was a very good interview. This season's a little bit more Fitchburg-centric. You were one of my guests, obviously, as we mentioned before. Joey Mullaney, who is a kid from Leominster who had a neurodegenerative disease, Friedreich's ataxia.
Oh, yeah.
He has gone on to be an author, speaker, blogger. He's really taken what life has handed him and made the most of it. Done a lot more than people who started out with a lot more. Rob Blanchflower is another Leominster native who was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He now owns his own construction company. That was a really great interview. Alex Shinnis was another one. He's from Leominster. Well, not from originally, but his businesses are based out of Leominster. He owns a coffee shop, smoothie bar type business. He owns a t-shirt printing business, and I believe they're working on opening a location in downtown Fitchburg as well.
Ooh.
So
that sounds great.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good guests and a couple of names that you maybe haven't heard of yet. We still got 2 more to record, so I'll leave those as a mystery. You'll have to tune in and check out. But I'm very excited to get this season out there.
All right. Well, so let's talk about how you access it. Jared, if you could pull up the Local Legacies logo and put that on the main screen, please. So this is what you'll see when you go to the Google Podcast or the Apple Podcast or whatever. This is the logo that you'll see for the Local Legacies. So you just search Local Legacies right on Google Podcast or Apple Podcast and look for this logo and hit subscribe.
Subscribe would be great. That it definitely helps us get it out to more people. If there's the biggest thing is like everyone may not be interested in this, but definitely someone would be very, very interested, and that's the person I'm trying to reach, is the person that this is, a great fit for them, and they don't just want to listen to one of them, they're going to want to listen to all of them. And if people have businesses that they would recommend, business owners that they would like me to talk to, it makes my life easier than just like going out and looking for them on my own. And I'm always open to feedback as well. If there's things that people want to hear more about, try to give the listener what they want to hear.
So if people are interested in contacting you personally, how do they best do that?
Best way is probably any of my social media. It's like Tim Lanza on Facebook, Tim Lanza on Instagram. I've got my personal business, Lanza Auto. You can probably contact me through either one of those. And then there's also Facebook pages for the podcast and Instagram page for the podcast. So just send me a direct message. We can connect and go from there.
Sounds easy enough. Okay, so I have a question about your guests. You interviewed your uncle, right?
I did, yeah.
What about your father? Have you asked him? Is he not interested in coming on your podcast? Because it sounds like that would be an interesting conversation.
Well, as I said, my dad is who I based the framework for the podcast off of. Yep. Things he was able to do with his life, things that were important to him with his family, the community. So I would definitely, he's aware that if he's ready, I would love to be able to record an interview with him.
Okay, very good. Is there anything else that you wanted to add? Anything we missed talking about your podcast?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Just to reiterate, if there's people and I've asked you for a couple of names, and anyone else really, it's not, I see listeners' numbers on a screen, but that doesn't mean anything. So if people listen and they like it, it's always nice to hear that, but even more so, it's really nice to reach out to the person that did the interview, because I think it's even more meaningful for them to say like, hey, I loved your story or whatever. And the idea behind all this is like, it's not an advertisement for the business, it's an advertisement for the business owner, who they are as a person. And if you decide that if you like that person, you like their story, and you want to support them, you'll support their business in turn, and that money will continue to circulate in the community. And
really, it's inspirational for those people that maybe are looking for something new, or maybe they're looking for a way to grow in their own business, really to listen to all these other business owners and how they've navigated through different challenges in their life and their business life. It's inspirational. Well, a lot of podcasts that I listen to, you see these names of people that are super, super successful, like multi-millionaires, and you think like, oh, that's nice, but am I really going to be that person? The people that I speak to are in your community, and if you wanted to follow that direction, it's not out of reach. Right. And so it's nice to see what have these people done that have led to their success, and try to model those if you want to have similar success in your own life. Sounds good. All right, Tim. Well, I appreciate your podcasts, and I'm so glad that you were able to come on and tell us your story. Thank you very much for having me. And for you at home, check out the Local Legacies podcast. It's fantastic, and the new season starts June 1st will be the first episode. June 1st, 2022. All right. So we are going to take a short break, and then we are talking with guests from Sleep in Heavenly Peace, the Middlesex division.
I remember when.
Fitchburg was the smallest town in the area, but by 1835, it had grown to be the largest town. By 1840 and 50, most Fitchburg residents had become abolitionists. Another early industry in Fitchburg that still continues today is scythe making. Women used to have to spin yarn and weave cloth themselves, but now it was being made in factories, cutting down and exporting its wood to build cities up and down the East Coast, and of course, for making paper. Starting in the 1800s, the population becomes much more diverse. Fitchburg Machine Works expanded widely.
After World War II, Main Street was lively.
Welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I have on with me Chris Alphen, the president of the Middlesex chapter of Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Perfect.
And Luisa Fernandez, you're the Fitchburg Public Schools Family Engagement Coordinator?
Yes, I am.
I got it. All right, great. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
And I know that Luisa, you're here because Chris has, through Sleep in Heavenly Peace, provided beds to students in need, and that is what it's all about, right?
That's what it's all about. Yeah. Yes, we. There's a lot of children in throughout the country that don't have beds, and our organization has kept track, and we figured preliminary numbers are about 2 to 3% of the children across the country don't have beds. They sleep on the floor, on rugs, on their clothes, on blankets. So in Massachusetts, 2 to 3% equals about 70,000 to 105,000 children. So I'm shocked. I can see your face. Everybody.
70,000
It's
children.
a lot of kids.
Just sleep on the floor or on a couch.
So we joined in with them 4 years ago, and gradually we worked our way up. We got busier and busier, and right now we're delivering between 20 and 50 beds a week, and many of them are hitting right here in Fitchburg.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's more than, it staggers my mind.
So why don't you talk about the geographical area that Sleep in Heavenly Peace covers?
So our area, we started off and we picked the demographics. We picked Lowell to Worcester, everything in between, up to Gardner, down to Waltham. That was kind of our starting area. In the meantime, in the last 4 years, we've met people that want to get involved. We have this woman from Framingham, so she takes Framingham to Rhode Island. We have Julie and Annie out in Springfield. They handle Springfield. Scott and Tammy just started their own chapter in Athol Orange.
Oh, nice.
And they've been working with us. They had given away 70 beds on their own. And I've got many other people that jump in here and there and do Lowell, a lot of Lowell, we have Ryan, who's about 25, 26 years old. He lives in Fitchburg, and he delivers after work in Fitchburg. He leaves work, he works with me, and he just takes the beds and goes to deliver them. And he knows a lot of the recipients. He grew up in this town, you know. So.
So the beds that you provide, we have pictures of the beds, right? Oh, we also have an actual piece of the bed, right?
We do, yes.
Oh, do we have an assistant that could bring us the bed on the set? Huh? That would be cool to see. What do you think, Dan? You want to bring that? Oh, Jared's going to bring it out. All right. Thank you, Jared. Oh, here is an actual frame of one of the beds. And it's branded.
So the brand is SHP, stands for Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And a headboard is a footboard. They're one of the same. You make one, you make either one.
Yep.
And when I go to somebody's house, some of these hallways and some of these bedrooms are very small, and the hallways can be very narrow. And if I was to take a whole bed, it would be bare to get it into the room. So if we take, a headboard and a footboard, and then the two side rails, we go through a hallway, we set it up, and then the kids, we can make a twin bed, or we can put one on top of the other and make a bunk bed.
These you can make bunk beds from
the design also. We can make a bunk bed, yeah. So either way, whatever the family needs, we can accommodate. And they're strong. I mean, these things, this piece of wood here, 2x6, and this is a 2x4. These, typical little kids, they love to jump.
Yep.
I love to see them jump because they can't break these beds. They can't break them.
So it's just all 2x6s, 2x4s, and 1x4s.
And 1x4. Oh, you're sharp there. Look at that. I didn't even tell you that. You knew.
And the beds are all for twin-size beds?
They're all twins. All twins. So after we set it up, I forgot to mention, we put the bedding together with a brand new mattress, brand new sheets, brand new pillows, and brand new blanket.
Wow,
And
that
we set
is
it up.
so nice.
And Luisa comes with me, and she helps me, and we pull the sheets, and we make it all
nice.
up.
You put the teddy
Yeah.
bear.
We take a few pictures, as you can see in the camera, and then we leave. We're in there 15 minutes, half an hour. You know, sometimes some families get 6 beds. We could be there an hour, you know. But pretty much, we know that people like their privacy. We get in, we get out.
What a change you're making in people's lives.
I'm hoping that it helps the kids do good in school. They get a good night's sleep.
They have their own space.
They get their own space, their own
That's so
bed.
important.
You know, they can paint these. They can put stickers on them. There was one little girl that put nail polish all over it. She loved it. They can do whatever they want and make it their own. And
can we just take the picture of like a few of the beds and put it up on the screen so you can see the different beddings that we have? See, so that you have cute blankets and cute printed sheets, little stuffed animals. Oh, and here's them making it, putting it together. Now, do you have to use the footboard with the construction of the bed? I'm just wondering if, I don't know, there's a small room. I don't know.
well, the side rail would tilt down if we didn't.
Yeah.
Right? So by putting a footboard and a headboard, the side rails are level. And then we put slats. We put, you know, about 8 or 9 slats, and then the mattress on it. No box spring, just a mattress. And we're working with an organization out of Worcester called Box Drop Mattress, and they supply all our mattresses. They give us a great deal, and we work with a local lumber yard. You know, they give us a great price. They work with us. They help us. We hold an annual event with this lumber yard. It's a lot of community involvement. A lot of really good people. Right around here.
Well, I would think that you need a lot of involvement because, I mean, it can't be cheap, especially with lumber prices, to buy all these all the materials for the beds and deliver them and all of that. How much does each bed cost?
So right now, with the bedding, each bed is worth $250.
Well, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and you know, if you think about it, every house we go to, we give usually at least 2 beds. So that's $500, pretty much. I mean, every once in a while we'll have 1 bed, or sometimes there'll be 6. But it's pricey. Believe it or not, the community is keeping us afloat. We have money in the bank. We're building beds. I'm building beds this Sunday, and we're doing okay. But we need to make sure it keeps going.
So you're having a fundraiser coming up?
Just a bed build. So there's 3 different things that we can do. Luke, the founder, made a very simple process. We fundraise is one of the 3. We build beds is another one, and then we deliver beds. So it's simple. It's that simple. So Sunday we're building beds. You know, here we're talking to the community about, you know, a fundraising event coming up, which I almost forgot about. and then we deliver beds.
Yeah. So the fundraising event, which I didn't grab a flyer, but I got the information here. It's Thursday, June 2nd, from 4 to 8 p.m. at Thirsty Robot in Fitchburg.
Thirsty Robot, 265 Summer Street.
Yeah, and
it's the only brewery in Fitchburg.
There's actually 2 breweries in Fitchburg.
Oh, is there 2
We have
now?
the Thirsty Robot and River Styx Brewing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
My
but
mistake.
It's actually our newest brewery, Thirsty Robot.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's right near the 99
Yes,
restaurant. And so Thursday, June 2nd, from 4 to 8 p.m. Let's see. So what is the fundraiser going to be?
Well, we're going to bring a few beds. We're going to have them made up and some not made up, so you can see the raw construction versus, you know, how they are when they get delivered. The biggest thing for us is, we want to get to meet more community people and see if there's anybody that wants to get involved with us. That's what this is all about, community. And I want to meet businesses. I want to meet people. I want to meet. Luisa is bringing all her friends and all her school people, co-workers, and there's a lot of need in Fitchburg. So
Yeah.
I've got to get to meet people. I need to meet people, and Luisa's going to help me.
Why don't we talk about some of the need in Fitchburg that you in your role as the community engagement coordinator, you get to deal with
course.
people that have needs, and you have to try to coordinate fulfilling those needs.
Yes. So I actually met Mr. Christopher, through my position with Fitchburg Public Schools because we have the need. We have a lot of, a good number of McKinney-Vento students that are staying, doubling up or in shelters or living with a family member. So, I called him one day, and he was here the next day with, I don't remember, maybe I think 4 or 3 beds. And since that moment, this project, it means a lot for me. And every time when I have the possibility, I volunteer with him and I help him. And he's my boss, he's like, do this, bring me that. And we have fun. But it's very hard to see in the conditions that some of our students and our families are living. So actually, last week I gave him a phone call and he was here with 5 beds next day.
Yeah.
So
And
I want to support as much as I can his organization because he's a very hardworking person. I believe in what he's doing because I see through my experience and through our students how hard he's working.
Yeah. And the result,
Yeah.
the kids must be so appreciative
Yeah.
and happy to actually have their own bed.
We have some that I'm never gonna forget about them.
I'd probably cry. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm kind of crying now thinking about it.
It's hard not to cry.
It's hard not to cry.
It's hard not to cry. And some of the kids they'll come up afterwards and they're short, so they'll wrap their arms around their leg and they'll give you a hug.
Yeah.
Without any prompting by their parents. It's amazing. These kids know. And I think the other part of it too is everything's brand new, and when they see us take the plastic off the mattress, and they see us take the plastic off the sheets, and the plastic off the pillows and everything, I think they know. I think they know that this, that they have value, and we love them, and we want them to do well, and I mean Luisa, she's always getting excited when she sees them. She's like, she's so good.
Because I know them,
Yeah.
and actually there are a couple of kids that I never gonna forget about them, because it is so hard. We had like a 5-year-old sleeping in a crib.
Wow.
I know, and we went and we gave him this amazing bed. The details of this program, it's amazing. So he got like his sheets, like his pillow, and a teddy bear, and he was so happy. So they are working very hard, and the only thing that I'm doing is calling them, asking them for help for my community, for Fitchburg. They are here the next day, and I try very hard to help them, to put the bed together and be there for them anytime when they are around, because it's working. They are like feeling that need, and
you're also my translator.
Right.
Oh
that's
yeah,
true, too.
that's helpful.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's impossible, because I'm too old to learn new languages.
You're never too old to learn new things. Okay.
I am.
So, in these last 5 minutes that we have together, let's talk about how we can get involved, how we can help you to help our community.
Well, so of the 3 things, fundraising and building beds and delivering beds, sometimes the fundraising and the building beds can go hand in hand. So if I can get a local business, or maybe not a local business, to sponsor a bed build event, and so say we pick a number, 10 beds, $2,500, and then we have their employees, or we invite a community or a church or a civic organization or whatever, and we find a parking lot, or we find or come down to my warehouse. I've got a warehouse in Littleton. There's a million different things that we can do, and I have all the equipment, and everything is made with jigs and templates. So anybody that has never touched a tool before can make a beautiful bed. It's incredible. Everything is done. Where we have battery drills, and the cutting of the wood is all done ahead of time, so no one gets hurt. And we have templates, and we take these rubber mallets and we tap the wood into these jigs, and it marks the wood, and we drill the holes, and then we take screws and we screw it together, and it's just amazing. It comes together perfect every time. Mm-hmm. Then we brand it. We take it. We usually have a fire pit somewhere, and we have a couple of branding irons, and we put the branding iron on the headboard.
Oh, that sounds like fun too.
Oh yeah, and everybody loves that.
Be in charge of that, right?
All right.
And then the final step is we have this dunk tank, and it's full of vinegar, and we dip the wood in the vinegar.
Oh, to preserve it?
No, believe it or not, we put a little steel wool into the vinegar, and the steel wool turns the vinegar brown.
Oh, stain it.
And it's stain. We call it stain,
Yeah.
but it's vinegar.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a natural mocha stain.
It's from like the early days, 1900s or whatever. That's what they had back then. So that's the process. It's a lot of fun. And then if we get those 10 beds, we put them into inventory, and the next time we get a phone call, boom, those are the beds that are going out.
Nice.
You know.
And so do you get donations of the bedding, or do you just use monetary donations to purchase bedding?
So far, we're getting a lot of donations. And if I go on Facebook and I ask for bedding, sheets and pillows, it comes in. It comes in large numbers. The mattresses are a little difficult. They're $100 now. They used to be $60 4 years ago. They're up to $100 with this, whatever's going on right now. And so they're a little bit difficult. But I every day, every week, I'm out there working on raising money to buy mattresses. And then if we have a local company that sponsors, well, if they sponsor the bed, the mattress comes with it and the wood.
So to donate or to reach out to you, to say I'm a local company and I want to do a community, an employee build day and donate a bunch of beds.
Right.
How do I contact you?
One of the best ways is if they go on Facebook to SHP Mass Middlesex. And
So Sleep in Heavenly Peace, SHP,
Yeah.
Mass Middlesex.
Mass Middlesex. And there is contact information on that. There's a link for Donor Perfect if you want to use a credit card and throw us a few bucks. There's that way. It's also got our address on there, our P.O. box, so if somebody wanted to write a check, that would be huge. And then from there, and then if people want to get involved, they can also, my phone number's on there. They can call me. They say, I'd like to volunteer. I'd like to help. I'd like to be part of it. We always need team members, always. So, and in Fitchburg, would be terrific. We would love to have more people so Luisa doesn't have to do everything.
He does everything.
So, and then you can also join us Thursday, June 2nd from 4 to 8 p.m. It's going to be like a meet and greet fundraiser opportunity to get involved and just to ask questions and see the beds in person at Thirsty Robot, which is on Summer Street in Fitchburg.
And have a nice beer there. It's
they're delicious.
It's unbelievable
beers.
beer. Yeah.
Nice space. That's very nice.
I'm going to be sharing the information through social media too, here in our local Facebook groups. So, I hope we can count with the community, and I hope Fitchburg support Sleeping Heavenly Peace because it's a beautiful project.
It sounds like it.
Yes.
Anything else that we might have missed, Chris?
No, I think we did really well, Sam. I appreciate you having us today.
I appreciate the work that you do, and I'm so glad that you could come on and tell us all about it.
Yes, thank you. No, it was very good. I'm glad. I hope that we get to meet some people through your show.
All right, great. And for you at home, we're going to take a short break. And then our last segment, we're talking with Anna Wilkins and Ghost Wilkins about the North County Land Trust, the Rock and Laurel, and other upcoming events that they have.
I remember when.
Fitchburg was the smallest town in the area, but by 1835, it had grown to be the largest town. By 1840 and 50, most Fitchburg residents had become abolitionists. Another early industry in Fitchburg that still continues today is scythe making. Women used to have to spin yarn and weave cloth themselves, but now it was being made in factories, cutting down and exporting its wood to build cities up and down the East Coast, and of course, for making paper. Starting in the 1800s, the population becomes much more diverse. Fitchburg Machine Works expanded widely.
After World War II, Main Street was lively.
Welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I have on with me North County Land Trust Executive Director Anna Wilkins.
Hi, Sam.
And the super volunteer, Ghost Wilkins. Thanks for coming on. All right, so what's going on? We're doing the Rock and Laurel.
We're doing the Rock and Laurel again.
5K.
Yes.
But this
yes.
time it's definitely in person.
Definitely in person. If you're not feeling well, don't come. You know, that's just what everybody has to do nowadays. But yes, in person. And this year is extra special because it is our 30th birthday as an organization.
The North County Land Trust.
That's right. So North County Land Trust turns 30 in June of this year. And so we're celebrating
What's
all
that,
year.
1992?
92.
Oh,
Yep.
that's 30 years.
I
Wow,
know.
92.
It seems, you know, it doesn't seem that long ago to me, but yeah. Mm-hmm. That ages me. But yeah, so it's extra special this year. The Rock and Laurel, we started, actually the first year was 2020, or 2020, 2021, and 22. Yeah, because this will be the third. So the first year, you know, everybody, we had to be virtual, but it was still such a success. It's actually become quite a significant fundraiser for the organization. So we are so excited to have it fall on our birthday month.
That's
so
June. June is the birthday month?
Is the birthday month.
Oh,
so.
Nice.
So we'll be celebrating with some cake there too, and you can sign up through the website, and there's actually, we're going to be doing a discount for Discussing Fitchburg Now watchers.
Ooh.
So if you're watching this, $10 off registration with the code DFN22.
DFN22 for
So
those
that is
special,
just for this audience.
those special audience
Yes,
members.
yeah.
And so where do we go online to sign up?
So there we
Oh, we have the flyer.
We have the flyer.
Hey, Jared, can we throw the flyer on the main screen like this? Like that.
Maybe. Yes. Yes.
That's how you do
so
it.
there is a QR
it.
code that on the flyer, and then on the website there's links to the race sign up as well. So you can
really,
just go
to northcountylandtrust.org.
.org, and then right on the main page you can click through to sign up.
You click the Rocky logo guy.
Yeah. And actually, here's another one.
Running Rock.
You were just talking about Thirsty Robot. What a great brewery. They're also, for the first 150 race finishers, you'll get a pint of Thirsty Robot pint glass and half off a pour in that glass.
Ooh.
So they're donating the glasses and half a pour.
Special glass and a beer.
Yep, from Thirsty Robot.
What a
so
bargain.
Props to them.
And you get
doing
$10
great things.
off with the DFN special code.
Yep. And if you finish with one of the 150 first people, then you'll get that as well. And we've got some great business sponsors this year again. So thank you so much to those business sponsors. But we really would love to see everybody there to party with us.
And this is on a Saturday?
It's on a Saturday
June
morning.
18th.
June 18th.
What's the race? Oh, it starts at 9 a.m.? Is that when it starts, or is that when you register?
That's when it starts. You should pre-register. I think we will have some day of registrations, but pre-registering is helpful for us.
And if you pre-register, you can get the T-shirt.
That's
with
right.
the Rocky guy.
Yep.
Which is so cute.
Which is awesome. I don't know. Ghost, do you want to say anything about it? Or
It's a great trail.
Oh, I've heard that the trail is challenging to run on. Is that true?
Yeah, it's personally I haven't run on it because I don't like running in the woods.
But you can also walk it, or jog it, or go at your own pace. It's a race for those who want it to be a race, and it's just a fun, nice stroll in the woods.
Walk in the woods. Is that what you do? Walk?
Yeah.
So running, you could trip over something. I've done that too many times to want to do it again.
That's true. There are some dangers in it. But anyway, so we hope to see everybody there.
And kids are welcome.
Kids are welcome. Families.
Are dogs welcome?
Well-behaved dogs and owners are welcome on leash. But you'll have to start in the back of the pack. And yeah.
Okay,
So,
and I saw this pop up on the screen. Do we want to talk about the Fitchburg open space?
Yeah, so now that we've gotten the advertisement for the Rock and Laurel over with, there's a bunch of things happening in Fitchburg that I just want to make everybody aware of.
Yeah.
The first is that,
we're updating our open space and recreation plan, which we have to do every 10 or 27 years?
Every 7 years.
Every 7 years.
And so this is a document that every municipality in the state has to do. And
if you want grants,
if
and
you want
you want to
grants
be,
and all that.
if you
and
want access.
That's right. And it's really the current open space plan was current through 2021, and now we're looking at those action items and targets and seeing how did we do and where do we want to go.
Right.
And this is really important for folks to get involved. The Thursday, June 9th, there's actually a public forum. So I want to make sure everybody knows about that. And there's also a great webpage on the City of Fitchburg website with an interactive map. So you can look at the parks that you like to go to, where are the issues, what priorities do you have as a Fitchburg resident for the open space and recreation of the city. And so North County Land Trust has I'm one of many people in representing on that committee, but this part of it is really close to my heart because I really love, oh, sorry, I keep hitting my thing and messing up with the sound. I really love hearing from people. How can we make our city better?
Well, it's really important to get involved in these kind of public input opportunities because, the people, a lot of the times the people making the decisions about our city, a lot of the times they don't live in the city. Or they might not, even if they live in the city, they might not go to every park. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, and I still probably have not visited every single park in Fitchburg.
That's right.
But there are people that live here that do on a regular basis, and we need to hear from them.
That's right.
We need to hear what is important to them. What at the park they visit every day, what would they like to see? What is a problem? What should the city focus on? These kinds of questions are really, we need the input from everyone in order to have the best plan.
Right. And I think the city's done a nice job setting up the web page for this open space recreation plan update with that interactive map and places, lots of information on where to put your input in. So I encourage folks to check that out and to go to that meeting.
So that's June 9th?
June 9th.
Thursday?
I think it's Thursday.
Thursday. Can we pull that up one more time, please, Jared?
Yeah.
With the data. That's the one. Can we pull that
Yeah.
up on the main screen again, please? Thursday, June 9th. 6 p.m. at the Fitchburg Legislative Building. That's open to all.
That's open
That's
to
a
all.
public
That's
input
right.
meeting. Come with your ideas and your suggestions,
That's
or
right.
just come to listen and see what what
going
they're
on.
thinking for the
Yep.
plan.
Yep, absolutely. So that's that. Another thing happening in Fitchburg. North County Land Trust is part of the Fitchburg Greenways Committee.
Fitchburg Greenway Committee.
As you know. Through the Trails subcommittee of that,
The Trails Vision
the Trails
Committee?
Vision Committee, we submitted a recreational trails grant, which we'll be implementing this summer, which is putting up wayfinding across the city's trails.
Love
and
it.
it's great. But there's like 55 posts that have to go on with little wayfinding maps and all that. We need volunteers to help us install all of those. And in addition, if you're a person who likes to be out in the woods on the trails, and also maybe likes to, clean up the trails or do some, public service work, we're looking to start a trails committee for Fitchburg that would be kind of a stewardship committee for the trails.
Trails stewardship.
Yeah.
The trail stewards.
Just for Fitchburg, yeah, the Fitchburg Trail Stewards. Leominster has the Leominster Trail Stewards, and they are a great group. So we need to step it up, Fitchburg. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, we can do that.
Exactly.
We can do
I
that.
want to
Yeah.
put that bee in everybody's
We
bonnet.
have so many amazing trails.
We
but,
do.
The thing about, having all these amazing amenities is we need to continuously maintain these
Right.
amazing amenities.
Right.
And maintenance isn't the flashy, sexy part
It's not.
of building new things. That's flashy. We go stand for the photo op. But when you go cut the brush and clean and
Yeah.
cut things and maintain it, not as flashy.
Not
But
as-
it's the most important thing that you can do to provide the upkeep and maintenance for these amenities that we have.
That's right, and it's a lot of fun to be out there with friends, getting dirty, sweating, putting in a good hard day's work, and then having a really nice trail system to be proud of.
It's nothing like those negative ions from being out in the
Right?
real environment.
Right,
Getting getting dirt on your hands.
Absolutely.
Just makes you feel good.
Absolutely. So if anybody is interested in that, they can contact me, and I'll get them in touch with, with what's happening, because that will be ongoing throughout the summer.
And how do we contact you, Anna?
You can contact me through my email address is just A for Anna, A Wilkins at northcountylandtrust.org. Our phone number is 978-466-3900. You can leave a message there or email me, or we're on Facebook and Instagram. You can message us through those channels as well. We're a small organization, so I'll definitely see it.
North County Land Trust. You're on the social media.
We're on the
you got the
socials,
website.
We've got the website.
You're easy to find.
We're easy to find, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like fundraisers like the Rock and Laurel, really to help support the organization that really helps to support the trails, the recreational trails that we have in Fitchburg, and also the health of the outdoor environment that we have in Fitchburg. The one thing that Fitchburg really excels at is kind of protecting our watershed, protecting our forest areas, and providing these recreational trails. Something like, I forget the percentage of land in Fitchburg that's
like 30% or something.
that's forested,
35,
and then the amount of so.
Yeah, and actually that reminds me, we're waiting to hear, we worked with the Fitchburg Water Department to submit a watershed protection grant, and we're just waiting to hear whether we've got it or not, but fingers crossed. So then there'll be another 60-ish acres protecting the headwaters of the northern Fitchburg watershed that we worked on.
And you know, and every year these grants come in, and every year I see more and more of the land in our watershed being protected, so that ensures that Fitchburg's water is protected perpetually into the future.
Yeah, and when you get the reports of the PFAS issues that some of our other communities are dealing with, and some of the the water scarcity and elsewhere in the country, Fitchburg is actually positioned itself very well to have a lot of water and really good quality water, and they've done a great job with that. So
our water quality is excellent
it
as
is
well.
excellent.
Yeah,
it is. So and it's the protected land that really makes that happen.
Right.
And it also reduces the costs for your water department because there's less treatment that's needed. So the taxpayers actually get a break overall when you don't have to treat for all of the pollutants because the land is filtering it. So, it's open space is fun to be out on the trails, and it's also critically important for us. So,
for our biodiversity, for our water quality health, for our forest quality health, our air quality.
Yep.
Just really, sometimes these things feel unquantifiable, but they are incredibly valuable.
Yep. And when we, it's really, I love working in North Central Mass, and I love the community of Fitchburg and how, we were born of this community, and, so it holds a special place in my heart, and we need ongoing support in order to do the work that we do at the levels that we're doing it and that we need it to. So
one way to do that is to sign up for the Rock and Laurel race.
That's one way. There's lots of ways. Get in touch with us. Look at the website if you want to learn about all the different ways that you can help us. Oh, speaking of which, we would love to get a pickup truck donated for our stewardship crew. So
that's a specific ask.
That's a specific ask. If somebody has a pickup truck that is in good working order, that could haul a trailer, or knows of a avenue where we might be able to get a discounted or donated truck, that's kind of on my wish list this
year. So you have the trailer.
We have the trailer. It's full of trail tools.
You need a pickup truck that can haul a trailer so that you can be able to better manage the properties in the area.
That's right. So that's my kind of throw it out there into the universe kind of ask.
All right. So, well, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for everything you do.
And I saw really briefly that some of our upcoming events was flashed on the screen.
Yeah.
So please join us at least for any of these. There's also volunteer opportunities out there. Fungus Walk out in Lunenburg.
And we can go to the website and see all of these.
This. Yep.
And so you can see all the upcoming events, and you can see those on Facebook too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Sam.
Thank you so much, Anna. And thank you, Ghost, for coming on. And thank you at home for watching. I hope you've learned a lot. And we will see you at the next show. Okay.